welcome back to the Beauty Topics podcast. I'm your host, Chantel, and this episode is all about what I picked up at the Sephora sale. I got some really amazing recommendations from some incredible women that I follow on YouTube. So a lot of these were inspired by my girl GlamGirlChelsea. Shout out to her. I love her so much. And of course, Alicia Archer. She had some amazing things that she picked up in her Sephora haul. And so I was super excited to try some of those things. I'm not going to lie. Most of the things I picked up are actually for my kit. Only I think one or two things are actually for my own personal use. As you guys know, I say it all the time. I am a professional hair and makeup artist. So I always have to find ways to cut costs and save money on my kit. And the Sephora sale, since I am a Rouge, the 20% off absolutely helps me get deals on brands that don't go on sale typically, which is really nice, or brands that don't offer a pro discount. That's the only way that it's worth it, because most pro discounts can be either 30, 40, or 50% off. So I typically will go the route of ordering directly from vendors if I need something, but the Sephora sale helps for brands like Dior and things like that. I do also want to say shout out to GlamGirlChelsea and Kelsee Briana Jai, another YouTuber that I have followed for years and years and years. They recently started a podcast, and when I tell you I am excited, and I'm super hyped for this. They're going to be talking all things beauty, makeup, and I just love Chelsea so much. She is definitely a friend of the podcast. She's been on here, as you guys know. She is a phenomenal wife, mother, like entrepreneur, all these different things. So I feel like she has a lot of knowledge to share. And she just has such a sweet and upbeat and just nice, kind personality. And she's such a kind-hearted person, because I am just like a little drop in the ocean, you know, compared to all these different other people in this podcast space. So I appreciate the fact that even someone that small like me, that she was so gracious and just amazing and coming on my podcast and supporting me. Same for Alicia Archer. She came on and just did so much. She just offered so much education, especially when it comes to health and beauty and stuff. I love how she merges those two worlds together. And she really talks about like exercise and movement, and she's just so like well versed in all things that have to do with like working out, especially when it comes to women, which I really appreciate. So I learned a lot from her. So I just wanted to really say, like, you guys, please check out the podcast with Kelsee Briana Jai and GlamGirlChelsea. I think it's going to be phenomenal, and I'm super excited to tune in. I cannot wait. So without further ado, here we go with what I picked up from the Sephora sale. Now, keep in mind, I am aware apparently there is this ad that Mariah Carey did with Sephora, and apparently it's very tone deaf. So I don't know. I haven't actually seen it, but I know it has ticked off a lot of people, and I'm kind of like curious to see it, because I don't know exactly what the heck is going on. I think it has something to do with just the times that we're living in and what's going on, and they're just maybe not being like sensitive to what's going on in the world, and kind of just being kind of oblivious and having tunnel vision. I believe that's what this is about. But like I said, I have not seen it. But I don't know. So I understand if some people are like, man, not interested in this. I totally get it. Just like I said, as a makeup artist, this is what I do for a living. So for me, I need to cut costs and actually have the best products I possibly can in my kit. And a lot of these brands sometimes are exclusively sold at Sephora. Certain lines are only sold there. So unfortunately, it just kind of is what it is. But whenever I can buy from a brand and get a discount, I typically will do that. So I just wanted to say that, kind of preface that, and get that out of the way. But that being said, here we go. I picked up a couple of these. You'll be able to see everything if you're watching this on YouTube. But I picked up the One Size On Till Dawn Big and Bitty set. So basically, you get the full size setting spray and then the travel size setting spray in the same package. And this is $36. Of course, I had the 20% off on top of that. And I will say, if you're not like Rouge, a lot of this stuff I just don't recommend, because I feel like only getting 10% off, like in most places, that's just a sales tax. To me, that's not a deal. Like if I only got 10% off, I wouldn't shop this sale at all. It's only because of the 20% that I shop it. And a lot of times I'm trying to get value sets like this. And I know previous years they had like a jumbo size. So I guess instead of them going through the trouble of like making all that jumbo size packaging, they just made some boxes and slapped a regular size and a travel size, which they already have in here. And that probably did save them some money too, being able to go about it that way. Cause I noticed this year, those big jumbo cans didn't come out, but, I picked up 2 of those. I actually picked up 3 of these. It's just the other one is in use in my kit right now, but I had these 2 still out on my desk that I'm putting away. So I got those. Now the Sephora collection itself was 30% off. And so from the Sephora collection, I wanted to try their daily brush cleaner spray. This is just like a good, like little in between deep shampoos for your brushes. I read some reviews online. They sounded pretty good. I went on YouTube and looked at some reviews of it. It looked pretty good. This one says quick drying, alcohol free, phthalate, paraben, and sulfate free. It says it has lemon, grapefruit, and tea tree oil to cleanse, condition, and protect your brushes for extended use. I've used it a few times, and I have to say, so far, so good. I'm pretty satisfied with it. It doesn't leave like that. You know how some brush cleaners, it's just they leave too much of a residue behind on the brushes, and I find that to be really, really annoying. This one did not do that, so I'm pretty excited about it. The atomizer on it, the mister on it is really good. You kind of just basically spray it on a paper towel, or I like to spray it on like microfiber cloths and then kind of take your brush back and forth over it until it comes out completely clean. But so far, so good. I actually picked up 3 of these because the first one I started using it and I really liked it. And I was like, shoot, well, while there's 30% going on, I want to go ahead and save that 30%. And I believe the regular price is $26 if I'm not mistaken. And it is 13.52 flowing ounces for $26. And you got the 30% off there in the Sephora sale. So pretty satisfied with this. This is something I kind of keep in my travel kit just for in between, because I don't like to bring home a crap ton of dirty brushes if I don't have to. If I can spot clean some of them, if I have a little time, I try to go ahead and do that. So yeah, here's another one of those. So I'm gonna push that to the side. Okay, so next up, I picked up some extra additional. Child, what's going on? Can you tell how tired I am? I've been working all day. I picked up the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Essential Artistry Edit Palettes. Now, I picked up the light, the medium, and the deep. I actually picked up all 3 of them. I think the dark one's on my counter over there because that's the one that I was actually using on myself. Okay, these you can clearly see if you're looking at this on YouTube that I have already used the heck out of this. This is the medium one. It's a 6-pan palette, all matte shades, kind of like neutral tones. But these were $44 each. And I was recently perusing the Patrick Ta website. And so going forward, I'm just going to order straight from his website so I can use my 30% off pro discount. I just kind of needed these right away because my Major Dimension 3, that all matte palette, I've worn it out. Almost every shade I've completely hit pan on, and it's just a mess at this point. So I kind of needed these ASAP. I didn't have time to wait. So I went ahead and took the 20% as opposed to the 30%. This is the light one, as you can see. And this one is pretty neutral leaning, I would say. These retail for $44. So I went ahead and picked these up. Now, I know most people are saying, well, if you have the Major Dimension 3, you don't need these, this, that, and the other. I feel like that's just only if you're not a makeup artist. If you're not a makeup artist, then no, of course you don't need a million matte eyeshadow palettes just laying around your house. But if you're a working artist, I highly recommend these. They do have a lot of kick up. It is a powdery formula, but it's very blendable, very pigmented. It almost blends itself on the eyes. So just tap off your brush, go to town. These are phenomenal. You can build such beautiful looks with these. They're just kind of like those staples, and they're not huge. They're just the right size that you can kind of line them up in your kit and they don't take up too much space. So I absolutely love these 6-pan palettes. I think they're amazing. Such good quality. Yes, they're powdery, I'm aware, but I'm telling you, the way they look on the eyes, the way that they blend, completely worth it to have that little bit of kick up. It doesn't bother me. And then another thing I picked up for my kit, this is the Rare Beauty bronzer stick in the shade Bright Side. Now, this is kind of like a cool tone contour stick, but it's not so cool that it looks like kind of ashy. Like it's got... Here, I'm trying to show you guys on the back of my hand. I know this is hard because this is a podcast and you're trying to watch this on YouTube also, but this shade, it's more of a neutral, I would say. It's not so gray. It more is a neutral leaning contour stick, which I really like because I don't like super deep, dark gray contours because it can just look a little bit ghostly IRL. You know what I'm saying? So this one is just beautiful for my light to fair skin clients. This is like the perfect contour, and it's more neutral as opposed to super warm leaning. It has no orange in it. It doesn't have that dark grayness to it. It's just kind of like that perfect in between. This is such a phenomenal shade. These are very inexpensive. I think it's like 20 something bucks, maybe 25, 28 bucks. You get a good amount of product for the money. And with the discount, it's amazing. So I was glad to be able to add that to my kit because it's absolutely something that I was needing. I also really love the Too Faced contour sticks. Those are phenomenal. I love chocolate caramel, chocolate mousse, chocolate souffle. They're gorgeous. They do retail for $35, so they are much more expensive than the Rare Beauty one, but still a phenomenal product. I absolutely love those. And then I picked up a couple of these Sephora pencil sharpeners for the 30% off. I just keep these everywhere. I keep them in each kit that I have. I keep one on my desktop just because these are amazing. They're great little sharpeners. You can do your jumbo pencils, your normal size pencils. So love these. Always have to have extra sharpeners because Lord, I'll be losing them. Okay. Next up, I picked up this Slick Lip Trio kit from Topicals because I needed some, well, not necessarily needed, but I wanted some more lip balms because I kind of go through lip balm pretty quickly. I really like the Ulla Henriksen ones, but this one was such a good value. Like I kind of couldn't pass it up. It was like $34 for a pack of 3. And you got some gorgeous colors. So we got an acai, a papaya, and a pomegranate. And I mean, these were just so pretty. I swatched them in store and almost, well, I guess they're more like a lip salve. Yeah, they're called a slick salve. And so got a little squeezy tube as normal. Nice little applicator right there. I'm going to squeeze some out. But this is like really thick and rich. And as you can see, if you are watching this on YouTube, if you take a look, look how much pigment that has. Are you kidding me? The Summer Fridays ones, they're nice and they're very comfortable. And I like those too, but there's almost like no color. There's almost like no differentiation in between any of the shades. Like no matter what color you got, they kind of look a little bit similar. This one, you can definitely tell that this is the pomegranate. Like it is bright, it's bold, it's super pretty. So I love these so far. I just think the colors are gorgeous. When I swatched them in store, I really played with the texture with my fingers. And I feel like these are going to be really hydrating because the colder it gets, I'm going to want something much richer than just the Summer Fridays lip balm. I'm going to want something much richer than that lip butter, I should say. So I feel like this is going to do exactly what I need it to do when the lips get a bit cracked. Well, this will prevent that cracking, but I just think the colors are super pretty. So I'm excited about that. That was another super good deal. And then I picked up a couple of YSL blushes. So this is my first time picking up any of the YSL blushes because I feel like these are extremely expensive. They retail for $46 each. I find that to be pretty pricey. I am aware YSL, this is luxury. This is, you're paying for the packaging, you're paying for the name. But for me, it wasn't about that. It was about the formula. I swatched them a while ago and I was just like, I'll wait for a sale. I'll wait for a sale. But when I tell you the formulation of these blushes is just, they're gorgeous. The feel, the texture, the way they glide onto the skin, the way they melt onto the skin. They just they have like a blurring effect. They're just so soft and smooth. And a lot of my clients are my age. We're in our late 40s, heading into our 50s, and we want things that look soft and smooth and buttery and silky on the skin. I don't want anything that's going to emphasize fine lines and texture, make my pores look bigger. I'm not about that life. So these are just absolutely gorgeous. The texture is beautiful. I can't get over how amazing the texture is. The shades that I picked up number 23 and number 37. Hold on, let me tell you the names. Shoot, because I think I got a peachy nude. Yeah, so I got a peachy nude 37, and then I got the hot mauve number 23. Both of these are matte shades. I didn't pick up any of the satins, only a couple of mattes, because I like to add the glow myself with the highlight or something like that. But this peachy nude one, look at that. I mean, are you kidding me? These are so gorgeous. And I also love the fact that the compacts, you can see which one you're grabbing. Like the color on the front of the compact matches the blush on the inside. Thank you, Jesus. I love the fact that Danessa Myricks with hers, she has a clear top so you can see right in through and see what blush that you're grabbing. Because digging through, that's why I depot all my MAC lipsticks and put them in lip palettes. Because Lord have mercy, if you're trying to dig through all those black tubes and try to read that little bitty writing on the bottom, it's going to wear you out. You're going to be exhausted before you even get started working, child, just looking for a lip color. So I love the fact that the color is on the compact. I just think that's an amazing touch, and I feel like every brand should do that. Make each one distinguishable so we can see what the heck we grabbing. All right, so love those two gorgeous shades that I'm super excited to have and add to my kit. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then I also picked up some new highlighter palettes from Dior. These are the Dior Backstage Glow Maximizer palettes. So I got 3 different ones here. And they're in a range of shades. So this first one is Sunlit Amber Glow, and this is the deepest one. Now, I know Dior did change the formula and come out with some new shades. So, I mean, I swatched these in store. They're beautiful. I feel like I'll get a lot of use out of them because these I do use on the face and the eyes. They're gorgeous. This one has some really rich shades in it that this to me kind of doubles as a blush palette. So I'm excited about this one to be adding this to my kit. Because my original universal one is in the old packaging and I love that formula so much. And I was just like, please, Lord, don't let them have wrecked this formula. But, you know, I'm just like, when you have such a good thing going, why are you messing with it? Why are you messing with perfection? I don't know. But anyway, then I picked up another one. This one is Rose Gold Glow. This one's really pretty. It's got like the pinky champagne-y tones in it. This one is beautiful. Like this one I'm super excited to use for eyeshadow, kind of like that inner tear duct glow in here on clients. Cheekbones, we got a pink one over here that I would use as a blush topper. So gorgeous, gorgeous there. And I think these retail for like $58 each. So you definitely need that 20% off because Dior don't be running no sales and neither does YSL to my knowledge. And then this last one I picked up is Pearly Peach Glow. So that's this one. You know, I love me some peachy tones. And this one has some really gorgeous, like, that's a really pretty, like champagne, like almost like a nice soft peachy bronze. But yeah, these are just beautiful. You get 4 different shades, which I love because I like compact little slim things like this because all 3 of these stacked up still don't even take up that much space in a kit. Like I can just drop it in one of the compartments in my kit, no problem. You know what I mean? I like compact packaging that has multiple shades for multiple uses. It saves me space in my kit so that I don't have to break my back and practically get scoliosis hauling my kit up and down stairs in these wedding venues or wherever the heck that I am. Because, you know, if you're a makeup artist, Lord knows, they may not have an elevator at some of these venues, child, and we're going up staircases carrying 50, 60, 70 pounds worth of makeup and hair products, and it is absolutely exhausting sometimes. So, yeah. So, next up, I have a few things from Givenchy. I'm super excited about these because I was watching Alicia Archer's video and she picked up the Givenchy Prism Libre bronzer in the shade 3. And this was something I was super curious about. And I watch Alicia Archer just because, like, I know if something works for her, it'll pretty much work for me because we have similar skin tones. So I love watching her for personal products. And this is one of those products that for sure is just straight up for me because my 3 bronzers that I'm currently using, I have completely hit pan on them and I'm swirling around the outside. And that's a rule that I set for myself, that I'm panning my own personal products. So since I've completely panned 3 bronzers and I barely have anything left in those 3, I have a Guerlain, a Guerlain, 2 Fenty bronzers and a Charlotte Tilbury bronzer that I'm almost completely out of. So I allowed myself to have this special treat, this Guerlain Prism Libre bronzer. The packaging is super gorgeous. You can tell that this is the bronzer because on the front of it, they made the little logo a bronze color. And so when you open it up, you've got 4 different colors inside and you just swirl them together. It reminds me very much of my Guerlain bronzer because my Guerlain bronzer was the same way. But just the formula of this, I played with it in the store. The touch, the feel, it's buttery smooth. It does have a hint of a smell to it. A fragrance, I should say, not a smell. It has a fragrance to it, which doesn't bother me too much because it is very soft and light, but it's an absolutely beautiful bronzer. I'm so excited to get this on my skin. I played with it in store and I'm super hyped about this. These are quite expensive, I have to say, but I think they're worth every penny because when she applied it, that blurring, soft, smooth effect, I was like, yes, girl, that is what I'm looking for. I like a soft, smooth bronze and I like to be able to blend different colors together. I love that. So super excited. It does come with these little weird brushes and I don't understand why brands are still doing this kind of stuff. Can I get some more bronzer and you keep this brush? I don't like these little flimsy things. I'm just not into that. I want to use my own brushes that I have. I just feel like it's a waste of space and plastic and resources to be putting these in here when you could just, you know, skip that part and just put some more bronzer in the compact. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Next up, I purchased 2 Prism Libre color pressed powders. Okay, so these are finishing powders, like setting powders, and I'm super excited about these. So I picked up shade number 5. It says Pope Line Mimosa, shade 05. Now these have the silver logo on the front. So you know that that's not your bronzer. So there's at least something in the packaging to differentiate what you're grabbing, which I appreciate. But the packaging is absolutely gorgeous. Let me pop this one open. Yet again, one of those flimsy brushes that I can't stand. So here's the 05. And so you've got your 4 different quadrants of color there. You've got like a peachy tone, a bronzy tone, a yellowy tone, kind of like a salmony color. And I love this. I'm going to just basically swirl my powder puff in there and like set under eyes or set the rest of my face. I think this is gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm super excited about this as a setting powder. And then I got a shade from my kit. And this is shade number 3. Let me pop this sucker open. Come on. You got to push this little button on the front of the compact. Okay, there we go. And this one is like a soft kind of peachy pink. This one is going to be phenomenal in my kit for, I would say, fair, light, medium skin tones. This is going to be great for under eye brightening, which is really what I wanted this for, as an under eye brightening setting powder, because I was using the Pat McGrath one for the longest and now I'm completely out of it. So I decided to give this one a try after doing much research online, much research, and just going in store and feeling it and testing it out and seeing how I felt about it. So I'm really excited to add this to my kit. I think it's going to be some beautiful brightening for my clients' under eyes. So wonderful, wonderful product. Like I said, I do know that when people get their hair and makeup done, especially for an event or birthday, whatever the case may be, it's like they're investing in you and they're excited. A lot of people, they have like saved up for this. They've saved up this $150, $200 for you to come over and do their makeup. And I feel like the least you can do is have the best products possible, give them amazing service, and just make them feel special. So to me, that's just very, very important. That's something I implement in my business and what I do every single day. I want each of my clients to be happy with their look. I want them to actually glow from within and just be excited and know that they invested in themselves and that I appreciate their business, you know? So I feel like for you to charge, certain price points, it's like, oh, I'm charging $150 to do somebody's makeup. And then you bust up, no shade, but with LA Girl, or you have a kit full of, Wet and Wild. I just feel like it's like, do provide the best you can for your clients, but also be mindful of the products you're using and the price points. I just feel like if somebody has saved up $150 to get their makeup done, I don't think they want you to be using a bunch of CoverGirl on their face. You know what I'm saying? And no shade to drugstore brands, but I just don't feel like that is appropriate for you to be charging luxury prices and using drugstore makeup. I feel like, and granted, some of these drugstore products are really good. There are products from Milani that I'm absolutely obsessed with that I love. I love Milani eyeshadow primer. There's just certain things that it's like that they just have nailed the formula. But for the most part, it's like, I think that your clients deserve the best that you can possibly give them. Best service, best look, best skin. Like, they want to be their best self because that's why they called you, so they can look and feel beautiful. So I feel like you should oblige and provide the best thing that you can. Because to me, honestly, if I was using all drugstore makeup, I don't feel like I would be charging what I charge. Like, of course, you're paying for my skill set and my time and all that good stuff, but I feel like there's just differences in ingredients and formulas. I love makeup made in Italy. I love makeup made in France, things like that. I want high quality products. So to me, that's important to me. But, to each his own. Do what you do. Be happy. But for me, all my clients are pretty damn happy. I haven't had a complaint as of yet. Thank God. I've been doing this for quite some time, so everybody's pretty happy with my work. And, I just keep going further and further in this industry. So I'm really excited and proud of myself and really grateful for each and every client that has allowed me to touch their face, their hair, whole 9 yards, or who has trusted me on their wedding day. It truly does mean a lot. So, just wanted to say that little piece. That's my little spiel. Some people might come for me and be like, oh, you're wrong. It doesn't matter. It's your skill set. It's not the products that you use. It's all of that. It is the products that you use, and it is your skill set. I feel like all of that comes into play. It's just my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. So, there it is. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. I just wanted to share what I got at the end of the Sephora sale. I spent a pretty little penny, but that's me investing in my kit and myself. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video. And checking me out on Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts. And it's your girl, Chantel, signing off. Thank you, guys. Peace.